Good morning, Wesley Britt.
Good morning, Gary. How are you doing?
Outstanding, my friend, and I know you're excited. I know the whole family is. You knew Hunter Brannon was going to play college football somewhere. That was a given.
Mm-hmm.
I know you had hoped it would be Alabama, but as you know, having been through this, there are no guarantees, particularly with a school at Alabama, like Alabama, that recruits at such a high level. But he impressed the coaches, Coach Key in particular. I know Auburn was really high on Hunter. And, one time, a couple weeks ago, I thought he might wind up at Auburn. But Alabama makes the offer, he jumps on it, and now he is going to be playing for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, Gary, I got to tell you, I am still on cloud nine and just so proud of my nephew Hunter. I mean, it's such a good kid. First of all, it's a good Christian kid and a hard worker, hard-nosed worker. And I cannot be more excited that he's carrying on the tradition and creating his legacy of his own at Alabama. And we had the chance to talk with Coach Key Friday at a cookout, the Champions Cookout, and Coach Saban, and I'm just so proud that everything has worked out. But it's all because Hunter's done such a great job and it worked extremely hard, and is a great football player.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And of course, listen now, size runs in the family. There's no doubt about it. And he's a big boy, but he's really grown just in the last year. I was looking at some pictures of him just from last season on the field at Coleman to where he's at now, and what's he put on, a couple inches and 20, 25 pounds or so, Wesley?
Mm-hmm. That's right, exactly. He grew over 2 inches last year, still growing. He's barely shaven. Has a couple of whiskers he's proud of, but he's still growing. There's a lot of upside to Hunter, and just over 6'4", 290 pounds now, and moving. He can move well. It's very swift foot, and just loves to dominate the offensive line. He's everything. I played a long time. Been very, very blessed to be able to play with a lot of great football players at Alabama and the New England Patriots. And as far as size, speed, and the mentality goes, he has it. He has it all.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that because you mentioned what a fine young man he is, and I know your sister's done a great job raising him. But I watched some tape of him at Auburn a couple of weeks ago, and you know what it takes, as you said, and those defensive linemen, they got some bad intentions. They want to get to that quarterback, and they want to hurt him, and it's an offensive lineman's job to keep that from happening. The thing I noticed about Hunter, and I mean this complimentary, is he's got that nasty streak. I mean, he even without pads down there at Auburn at that camp, watching that video, I mean, he was hooking guys, and I mean, he doesn't mind getting nasty, so to speak, when he's playing on that offensive line, does he?
You're exactly right. You mentioned defensive linemen have some bad intentions. Let me tell you, Hunter Brannon has got some equally, if not more, bad intentions for those defensive linemen. And he's always. I remember him playing his first year playing football in second or third grade, and he said, "Uncle Wesley, I just want to get out there and pancake some guys. I want to put them on the haircut like you and Uncle Taylor and Uncle Justin do." And that's the way he has always had that mentality from a very young age. He's just such a nice, humble guy off the field. But on the field, he has always just wanted to put people down on their backs, and that's the mentality you got to have. And very few people know how to control that. They do have it. He does. He has it. He has it in spades. He loves nothing more than to dominate defensive linemen, and that's people can say that, but that's the way Hunter is wired.
Wesley, Alabama fans, they're the best in the country, but because they have so much passion, they're always analyzing, they're always looking at things. And
sure.
and because of the legacy situation, because of you and your brothers having played at Alabama, what some fans are saying. They're saying, well, Hunter got an offer because of his uncles, and he's probably, a good player, but they might look at delaying his enrollment or something like that. Go ahead and tell me, straight from the horse's mouth as his uncle, as somebody that was on the visit this weekend, what did Alabama tell Hunter in regards to his offer? Is it for this upcoming class? How does all that stand? Is there anything in regards to the gray shirt come up, any of that stuff? I'm just asking because I hear some fans, talking about it.
I can tell you what I know, and I know no mention of a gray shirt at this point. And I haven't heard anything about that. And as far as I know, the full intentions are for Hunter to enroll, and he'll graduate in December, be an early enrollee, and get ready to play football. make an impact where he can, as early as he can, and as often as he can. And I think the great thing about Hunter is that he's going to make an impact in the locker room early. He brings that passion. He's been a fan of Alabama since, he's been going to football games since he was 6 or 7 years old, and grew up on that. He'll bring the passion. The guy that's going to do great be a great teammate for players, and be an in-state guy that just brings the love and the passion of Alabama football and can play football on the field. This is something that they've been evaluating Hunter for a long time, totally based on him, his efforts. There's been no mention of me or my brothers on what we've done, what we were able to do at Alabama. It's about it was purely on what Hunter's done on the field and how he's improved. He went to 3 or 4 Alabama football camps every time he could this year to show his improvement, to show what he can do. And each time he grew. He actually got taller, and he got bigger and quicker. And that's what the thing I heard from Coach Key and Coach Saban is the way that he has improved, that he's just got better on the field. And I think that, I believe with 100% that it's 100% his offer. And for them to want him to come play at Alabama is based on his merit on the field. And, you know, with the thing about Alabama, too, Gary, as you know, is they're not looking for people to fill a spot, just to fill a starting spot. Right. I mean, it's based. You have 3, 4, 5-star players lining up that want to play at Alabama, and Coach Saban's selling it and winning national championships. So he's a great player, and he'll make an impact there.
You know, I love what you said, Wesley, because I remember Bill Parcells used to say, trust your eyes. And that's the one thing about Nick Saban in Alabama. Listen, a lot of times the kids they take are highly recruited. We know that.
Right.
But they don't recruit off those lists. They get them into camp. They watch them with their own eyes. They see somebody they like. They want to offer them. They don't care if they're rated a 5-star or a 2-star. If they like the young man, they're going to recruit based on what they see.
And offensive line in particular, it's hard to. I've seen so many 5-stars come in. Shoot, I beat out a couple of 5-stars. I was a 3-star guy. That's right. Coming out of Coleman as well. And as a true freshman, I beat out a couple of 5-stars to back out. And I was backing up the 2 starters and then beat the starters out my redshirt freshman year. There were 5-stars. It's hard to evaluate the talent at the offensive line position. You can evaluate height and weight, and then see if their feet, and then the mentality and what you bring to the field. So I think there's some players that are clear, but offensive line's hard to evaluate, and Saban does the best job at it. Look at the the offensive lines they've had, and what they put in the NFL.
No doubt, and he's Hunter still has another year of high school, as you said. He's still growing.
Right.
I want to ask you about Brent Key because. Last year, Coach Cristobal handled the offensive line from tackle to tackle. Coach Saban felt like that maybe that was too much on one guy, so now Coach Cristobal's handling the outside guys, the tackles, and the tight ends. Hunter, who I don't know where he'll play, he probably projects as an interior offensive line, either a guard or center. So he's going to be working a lot with Coach Key, who's new to the staff. I know you've gotten to know him. What's your impression of Brent Key, the interior offensive line coach at Alabama, came over from Central Florida?
I could not be more impressed with Coach Key. He has a love for the game, has a passion. He wants to be at Alabama. He wants to be there, and he wants to coach good young men to be great offensive linemen. And he's a teacher. He's a mentor, and he's been there. He was a great player at Georgia Tech. He's been a great coach. He could have been. He had several coaching opportunities at other places, including the NFL, and he wants to be at Alabama. And Hunter could not be more excited to play for Coach Key. And I think Brent's excited as well to have Hunter there at Alabama. I look forward to watching what his offensive line does next year, how they improve, and how they grow upon a great base that Cristobal has put in place.
All right, it's a scenario now that the Brits do not have to be concerned with. But this is Sports Talk Radio, and I want to ask you. I mentioned Hunter, down at the Auburn camp a few weeks ago, and I talked to one of my Auburn recruiting guys, and he said, man, Auburn really likes Hunter Brannon a lot. I mean, they really like him. Had Alabama not offered, had he wound up going to Auburn, I know they say blood is thicker than water, but what would that? I know you're gonna pull for your nephew regardless, but what would that have been like when Alabama played Auburn if your nephew was wearing the orange and blue? Again, moot point now. But
Right.
did you even think about that?
Hey, I would be lying to you if I would tell you that I hadn't thought about that and had a couple of sleepless nights over that as well. How I would react, but it would be very difficult. But I would certainly root for Hunter and root for Hunter and root for my nephew. I mean, like you said, he is blood, and Alabama's blood as well. You know, I'm part of the Alabama family, but it would have been very difficult, and I am just over the hill grateful and thankful that still beside myself that he has the opportunity to play at Alabama.
Let me ask this, Wesley. With you and Taylor and Justin all having played the offensive line at Alabama, you know what it takes. You know what it's like. He's now committed, so he doesn't have to worry about the recruiting process anymore. Focus on his senior year at Coleman High School, a really good program. What are you going to tell him, and what will your brothers tell him from now until, of course, I know he wants to win at the high school level and focus on that, but what do you tell him about getting better? What do you do as a high school player that knows you're going to play Division I college football in the SEC to work not only on being a good team player and helping your team, which is he's still a high school football player, but getting better for the next level? What's that process like?
You know, I think, Gary, that's a great question, and we've all talked to Hunter. Justin's done a lot more with Hunter living in Coleman and worked with him a lot. Justin and Taylor both, but Justin in particular. But one thing we talk, you know, now that he's committed, try to put that's a lot of weight on it. It's a lot of weight on anybody. And I was coming this time of year with considered 3 or 4 offers, and it was an immense amount of weight. With Hunter realizing his dreams, he may have an opportunity, but that opportunity hadn't been provided his dreams to come true. And now that the golden ticket has been offered and Hunter's accepted. Just, you know, try to focus on his high school. Enjoy his senior year. It's a great opportunity for him to play with his teammates. Enjoy his senior year and focus on getting better and listening to his coaches. Because there's 100 different ways to skin a cat. And he needs to be a great teammate and listen to how his coaches at Coleman. He's got great offensive line coaches and great coaching staff under Coach Britt at Coleman, and listen to them and be a great teammate, get better, and help their team win football games. And that's all he can do, and work out, get stronger, faster, work on his footwork. That's all he can do to prepare for the next level. But you got to live in the, Gary, you know, like in any situation, no matter what it is, you have to live in the moment, enjoy life, enjoy his time there, and just be the person he is. I think what he can do to help the team now is being an advocate for the university to help recruit the great players and have the best signing class again in the nation for the University of Alabama once again. Well
said. All right, you're his uncle. I know you're thrilled for him, as you said, but there's nothing like a mom's love for her son. What was your sister's reaction when he got the offer and committed to the University of Alabama? I guess she was beside herself, huh?
All right. I talked with Lindsay, and it was with her Friday night, and it was just a ton of bricks lifted off her chest. It was just, a lot of prayers and hard work answered. And she was just so proud of her son. Can you imagine your child having the opportunity to play at the greatest university in the world? And that been provided for him. And she just couldn't be more proud for all his hard work. So she's seen it more than I have, or anybody has, the hard work. Hunter's the kind of guy that gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning before school to go work out and train. He's been, going through all these summer camps and everything this summer. He's also been taking some summer school classes so he can get ahead, so he can be an early graduate. So, and be an early enrollee and graduate in December. So she's seen the hard work every day and him getting up in the morning and the kind of kid he is and spent all his life. So she was just, she couldn't believe it. She was just, it was literally a dream coming true for her as well.
Wrapping up with Wesley Britt, former Alabama offensive tackle and New England Patriot offensive lineman. Before I let you go, you played on some really good teams at Alabama, some really good offensive lines, but it was a transitional phase, and there was some success, but there were also some ups and downs. When you look at this program now, with what Saban has done, and I think we're all just in awe. Not that Alabama isn't a great place, and we know Alabama can win. The history says that, but to do what he's doing, 4 national championships in the last 7 years, one of the favorites to win it again this year, really in contention every year for the championship since 2008. As a former player, are you as amazed as I am? Does it just cause you to drop your jaw when you see, in this day and age with all the parity, what Nick Saban's been able to do at Alabama?
Right. It is just you're right, man. How do you explain what he's been able to do in any day and age? In any day and age, much less this day and age with all of the parity, and to win, to be in the championship hunt every year, and to win and to take home 4 of them is just, it's mind-boggling. Simply mind-boggling what he's able to do. The culture of consistency that he preaches and acts upon there in Tuscaloosa is remarkable. I have several, like you said, Gary, I played with a lot of great players and offensive linemen. I think there's one year all 5 of us played in the NFL, and Evan Mathis is still playing in the NFL. Yeah. And we had some really good football teams. Went through a couple of years of probation and turnover, but I've had fans that said, wouldn't you have loved to play on these teams, win national championships every year? And Gary, my first thought is like, shoot, I might not even got a scholarship if I was coming through this time, and much less than a 4-year starter, and had the opportunity to do the things that I did, but I wouldn't change my experience for the world. I still had the opportunity to play at the University of Alabama, to drape the same crimson jersey that so many greats, so many, John Hanna put on his shoulder pads, Kenny Stabler, Bart Starr, Joe Namath, so many, Derek Thomas, Cornelius Bennett. The list goes on and on. And what a remarkable experience! And to get to be on the same teams that Coach, I give a lot of credit to Coach Mal Moore, to what he did to prepare and lay the platform for where the university is now. And what Dr. Witt and Mal Moore did to get the program to where we are now, school, university, is just, I'm very blessed, very fortunate to be able to do the things that I did, even though I wasn't privileged enough to leave there with a national championship.
And finally, and this is your second appearance with me on the radio show. You've been on my television show as well, but for folks that are listening today, bring us up to speed on what you're doing now. I know you got a beautiful family living there in Montgomery. Tell us what Wesley Brett's got going on in his life right now.
Yeah, there's always something fun, and something fun going on. We love my wife, Katie, and our 2 beautiful kids, Bennett and Ridgeway. Daughter Bennett 7 and Ridgeway 6, and life's good. Still working for Alabama Power Company and doing governmental relations. Although I don't tell my mom I'm a lobbyist, but I love it. Work for a great company that serves the state of Alabama. And we're actually, Gary, on the week of April 15th, moving to Washington, D.C.
Holy cow, there's a big announcement right there.
Yes. And I haven't told a lot of people that, but it's happening now. And Katie, my wife Katie, couldn't be more proud of her. Senator Richard Shelby, our senior United States Senator from Tuscaloosa, as he wants to do something. He wants to leave a legacy and have a big impact this next 6 years, and has asked Katie, my wife, to be at the helm as chief of staff.
Oh my goodness! Well, congratulations to Katie.
Yeah, so that is just fantastic.
the whole family's moving.
We are moving up, and I'll still be with Alabama Power and Southern Company, who are present in D.C. and so we're blessed and looking forward to it. Could not be more proud of everything Katie's doing.
Oh man, that's great news. I appreciate you breaking it right here on the Gary Harris Show. And thanks for the visit, Wesley. Congratulations to Hunter and the entire Britt and Brannon families. I know it's a thrill, and we appreciate you coming on and visiting with us about Hunter, and also giving us that news on you and the family moving to D.C.
Yes, thank you, Gary. Roll Tide, and you're going to really enjoy getting to know Hunter over the next several years.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Wesley.
Thank you. All right.